21 hidden affairs that changed old Hollywood forever. You probably didn't know this, but behind the bright lights and famous faces of old Hollywood were secret romances and risky affairs that could ruin careers. While some stars broke all the rules for love, others hid their true selves to keep their place in the spotlight, leading to hidden affairs that changed Hollywood in ways few knew. Are you curious about the stars involved in these acts? Then let's reveal the scandals they hoped you'd never discover. Clark Gable and Loretta Young. In 1935, sparks flew between Clark Gable and Loretta Young while filming Call of the Wild. Gable, married and known for his wild ways, got close to the 23-year-old Young. But things took a dark turn during a train ride back to Hollywood. Young later revealed Gable forced himself on her, a painful truth she kept hidden for years. She got pregnant and, fearing the end of her career, secretly gave birth and later adopted her own daughter to cover it up. Gable never publicly acknowledged their child, keeping the secret for decades. Audrey Hepburn and William Holden. Audrey Hepburn and William Holden's affair started on the set of Sabrina in 1954. Their chemistry was undeniable, but Holden's baggage weighed them down. He was married, battled a drinking problem, and had already undergone a vasectomy, a heartbreaking blow for Hepburn, who dreamed of having children. Despite his deep feelings, their romance couldn't last. Holden even tried rekindling their spark during Paris, when it sizzles. A decade later, but a drunken fall from her dressing room window ended his hopes, sealing the end of their bittersweet affair. Ingrid Bergman and Roberto Rossellini. Ingrid Bergman, Hollywood's angelic star, shattered her pristine image when she fell for Italian director Roberto Rossellini while filming Stromboli in 1950. Married to Peter Lindstrom at the time, Bergman's affair with Rossellini caused an international scandal when she became pregnant. Outraged fans and even U.S. senators condemned her as a powerful influence for evil. Her films were boycotted, and her once glowing reputation crumbled. Fleeing to Europe, she married Rossellini and had 3 children, including actress Isabella Rossellini. But the fallout forever changed her public image. Charlie Chaplin and Lita Grey. Charlie Chaplin's romance with Lita Grey was scandalous from the start. He met her as a teenager, and by 16, Lita was pregnant with his child. To avoid a career-ending scandal, the 35-year-old Chaplin rushed to marry her in a secret ceremony in Mexico in 1924. But their marriage quickly fell apart, leading to a bitter public divorce in 1927. The court battle exposed Chaplin's controlling nature and infidelities, shocking the public and becoming one of Hollywood's biggest early scandals. Jean Harlo and William Powell. Hollywood's blonde bombshell and the king of sophisticated comebacks kept their romance under wraps, avoiding the spotlight despite their deep connection. Harlo, known for her fiery personality, brought out a softer side in Powell, but his reluctance to marry again after 2 failed attempts kept them from making things official. Their love story took a tragic turn when Harlo died suddenly in 1937 at just 26. Heartbroken, Powell paid for her crypt and chose her burial gown, a final gesture of love for the woman he never got to marry. Greta Garbo and Salka Viertel. Behind the quiet intensity of Hollywood's most mysterious star was a powerful bond with a sharp-witted writer. Salka Viertel, known for her blunt charm, became Garbo's confidant, writing scripts like Queen Christina with her in mind. Their closeness sparked rumors, but things grew even more tangled when screenwriter Mercedes Deacosta entered the picture, pursuing Garbo with a passion that bordered on obsession. When Mercedes published a private photo of Garbo in her 1960 autobiography, it shattered their fragile circle, severing a bond that had lasted decades. Anthony Perkins and Tab Hunter. Before Psycho made Anthony Perkins a star, he found a secret comfort in the arms of Hollywood heartthrob Tab Hunter. Their world demanded silence, so they kept up appearances with double dates and careful public personas. But off-set, they found ways to steal private moments, including beachside hideaways and quiet dinners. Their relationship unraveled when Perkins took the lead role in Fear Strikes Out, a part Hunter had brought to life on TV, creating a rivalry too deep to ignore. Though they crossed paths again years later, the spark had long since faded. Barbara Stanwyck and Robert Taylor. Hollywood painted them as the perfect couple, but behind the scenes, things were far more complicated. She, a fiercely independent star, and he, a leading man with classic good looks, kept their marriage going for over a decade. Rumors swirled around her close friendships with women, while whispers of his affairs with co-stars never quite faded. Many believed their marriage was a studio-arranged partnership, meant to boost their careers and protect their images. They divorced in 1951, leaving behind one of Hollywood's most carefully guarded mysteries. Rita Hayworth and Orson Welles. Their romance was a whirlwind, sealed with a quick courthouse wedding during a lunch break in 1943. She, the stunning love goddess, and he, the genius filmmaker, seemed like a perfect match, but their passion burned out quickly. After their split, Hayworth found herself swept up by Prince Ali Khan on the French Riviera, diving headfirst into another scandal. Their affair sparked outrage, with even her studio suing her for quitting Hollywood to be with the prince. The romance fizzled, ending in a bitter custody battle that dragged on for years. Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy. Behind the tough, no-nonsense image of Katharine Hepburn and the rugged charm of Spencer Tracy lay one of Hollywood's most complicated relationships. While the public saw them as the perfect on-screen duo, insiders like Scotty Bowers painted a different picture. Bowers claimed their romance was a studio-made illusion, with Hepburn reportedly a lesbian and Tracy possibly bisexual. Despite this, their bond ran deep, with Hepburn staying by Tracy's side through his struggles with alcoholism and health issues, famously saying, "I loved him, and I wanted to be with him," until his death in 1967. Liza Minnelli and Peter Allen. Liza Minnelli's marriage to Peter Allen was a Hollywood fairy tale with a hidden twist. Introduced by Minnelli's mother, Judy Garland, the two seemed like the perfect couple, but Allen was secretly gay. Minnelli discovered this in the worst way, catching him with another man on their wedding night. Humiliated, but determined to keep up appearances, she stayed, even flaunting her affair with music producer Rex Kramer for revenge. Things took a stranger turn when Allen also had an affair with Minnelli's stepfather, Mark Herron. The chaos eventually led to divorce in 1974, but the scars ran deep. Laurence Olivier and Jill Esmond. Laurence Olivier and Jill Esmond's marriage seemed perfect on paper, but their love had a rocky start. Olivier later admitted he only married Esmond because he thought he couldn't do better, a stark contrast to his fiery passion for Vivien Leigh. When he met Leigh in 1936, their affair quickly deepened despite both being married. They eventually left their spouses, moving in together before finalizing their divorces in 1940. Their marriage, however, struggled under the weight of Leigh's mental health issues and affairs, finally ending in 1960, leaving behind a love story marked by passion and heartbreak. Ava Gardner and Frank Sinatra. Ava Gardner and Frank Sinatra's relationship was as dramatic as their movie roles. He left his wife and kids for the stunning actress, but their fiery romance often teetered on the edge of disaster. Their fights were legendary, with Sinatra's jealousy and Ava's fierce independence clashing constantly. When Gardner admitted to a fling with a Spanish bullfighter, Sinatra's temper exploded, threatening to end things. Despite their intense connection, their marriage, marked by chaos and public scrutiny, fell apart after just 6 years, leaving both stars battered by the fallout. Debbie Reynolds, Eddie Fischer, and Elizabeth Taylor. Hollywood's perfect friendship shattered when Elizabeth Taylor, grieving her husband Mike Todd's death, found comfort in Eddie Fischer, husband to her close friend Debbie Reynolds. Their affair shocked the world, transforming Taylor from America's sweetheart into a tabloid villain. Fischer left Reynolds for Taylor, only for Taylor to abandon him for Richard Burton a few years later, cementing one of Tinseltown's messiest love triangles. Decades later, Reynolds and Taylor famously reconciled, even sharing a project written by Reynolds' daughter, Carrie Fischer, proving that even the deepest wounds can eventually heal. Cary Grant and Randolph Scott. Cary Grant and Randolph Scott were Hollywood's golden boys, but their close bond sparked endless whispers. The two actors shared a Malibu beach house they cheekily called Bachelor Hall, lounging by the pool and playfully posing for photos that fueled endless rumors. In an era when studios demanded a squeaky clean heterosexual image, this friendship raised eyebrows. Both men publicly dated women, with Grant eventually marrying several times, but their bond remains one of Tinseltown's enduring mysteries, challenging the era's strict views on masculinity and friendship. Gary Cooper and Lupe Velez. When Gary Cooper met Lupe Velez on the set of The Wolf Song in 1929, their relationship took off with a fiery intensity. Known for her wild temper, Velez once chased Cooper with a knife, leaving him needing stitches. Despite their passionate fights, Cooper's wandering eye only added fuel to their chaotic romance. Their breakup turned even darker when Velez allegedly fired a gun at Cooper as he boarded a train. Rumors swirled about his close ties with actor Anderson Lawler, with Velez even hinting at a messy love triangle. Lana Turner and Johnny Stompinado. Lana Turner's love life took a dark turn when she fell for Johnny Stompinado, a mobster linked to Mickey Cohen. Their toxic romance was marked by jealousy and violence, with Stompinado trying to control Turner at every turn. Things exploded in 1958 when Stompinado confronted Turner at her Beverly Hills home. Turner's 14-year-old daughter, Cheryl Crane, stepped in, grabbing a knife and stabbing Stompinado in a desperate act of defense. Though the court ruled the stabbing justified, the scandal forever altered Turner's Hollywood image. Bette Davis and William Wiler. Bette Davis often said William Wiler was the one who got away. They met on the set of The Letter and The Little Foxes, with Davis later admitting he was everything she ever dreamed of in a man. But Wiler saw their relationship differently, once saying Davis had too much energy for him. Their romance burned bright but brief, leaving Davis heartbroken. Years later, when they met on the set of Ben-Hur, Wiler's cool professional greeting made Davis realize their love had always been one-sided. Marlon Brando and Rita Moreno. When Marlon Brando crossed paths with Rita Moreno in 1954, their relationship hit every emotional high and low. Brando's notorious unfaithfulness kept Moreno in a cycle of heartbreak for 8 years. Things took a dark turn when he forced her into a disastrous abortion, leaving her physically and emotionally shattered. Her failed attempt to take her life marked the tragic end of their turbulent romance. Rita Moreno and Elvis Presley. Hurt by Brando's endless affairs, Rita Moreno found herself in the arms of Elvis Presley. She admitted she only dated the king of rock and roll to make Brando jealous. It worked, with Brando reportedly flying into a rage when he found out, even throwing furniture in a fit. Despite the brief satisfaction of revenge, Moreno later admitted Elvis couldn't compare to Brando's intense, if toxic, allure. Errol Flynn and Beverly Adland. Errol Flynn's final romance with Beverly Adland remains one of Hollywood's most scandalous. Flynn met Adland when she was just 15, a fact he claimed to have discovered too late. Despite her age, he charmed both Adland and her ambitious mother, who even encouraged the relationship. Flynn gave her the nickname Woodsy and planned to marry her, but his failing health caught up with him. He died in Adland's arms aboard his yacht in 1959, leaving behind a storm of controversy that only grew after his death. If you loved this trip down Hollywood's scandal-filled past, don't forget to like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and hit that subscribe button for more untold stories.